Hey everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. You remember January 6th? Sorry, I'm laughing because I just ran into one of my old classmates. He graduated a year ahead of me, and he's on the police force. So I just got done chopping it up with him, and it was cool. Cool running to people who had that you had a connection with your past. And it was we had a good conversation. But I'm just doing this video because I'm gonna talk about I remember what I was doing in January 6th. And I remember I did a video that night of if you go back to my channel, you'll see I did a video that night when I was talking about stuff that was happening. And I remember being at work. I was at the eye care center, and I was in the lab watching on my phone and laughing my ass off at all the it's just all this I thought it was cool. I honestly thought it was pretty cool that you had people just they got into the building, and they didn't burn it down. They very little was destroyed. Yes, you had a lot of mischief, I would say. I do remember, unfortunately, Ashley Babbitt. She was the woman who was shot in the neck by one of the security guards in the building. And as far as I can tell, from all the info that's come out, correct me if I'm wrong, she was the only person that died. I think maybe two other people died. Someone had a heart attack. Someone else suffered a fall, but she was the only person I remember who was killed. In a violent way. She was shot. So I remember that. I remember just all the questions going on. I remember all the hysteria, and I remember seeing members of Congress cower. I remember seeing them actually scared of a bunch of unarmed people, unarmed American citizens coming. I don't know if you can say breaking in because they were let in. They were afraid of a bunch of unarmed Americans coming in I guess what I call the rotunda, coming inside the Capitol building, going through following the velvet rope, and taking pictures, crying, being scared. Lindsey Graham, I'm talking about you, crying to the building security to shoot these people. I won't forget that. I remember that event showed how bitch made a lot of members of the GOP are. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to the fly that was on Mike Pence's head during his debate with former Senator Kamala Harris. I think that fly was warning us about what he was made of. I remember all that stuff. I remember the punk ass comparisons of this to Pearl Harbor. No, first I think it was comparison to this 9/11, and then some morons want to compare it to Pearl Harbor. Like, you gotta be out of your mind. This was I'm just furious because you're comparing this event to actual events of mass murder, of violence and destruction, and no mention of the mess that went on in 2020. You want to say that, oh, this was so horrible. At first, that's not an insurrection. 2020 had its share of insurrections. This, I can't call this insurrection because it doesn't do a service to actual insurrections like what we're seeing right now in Kazakhstan. If you're keeping up to date with that, that's an insurrection. I call January 6th spilled milk. That's not to make light of the death of Ashley Babbitt and others who are hurt from that situation. But there was nothing compared to the mess that went on the year before. And to think you have boneheads coming out and saying, oh, this is such a dark time, and this is a dark time in American history. Really? You can tell these people they don't know nothing about American history. The Civil War happened. Even before that, we had the War of 1812. Those were rough times. This was nothing. Like I said, this just shows how bitch made a lot of members of Congress are. And then you have those who are attention seekers like AOC. Turns out she wasn't even in the building. She was 2 blocks away in a different building when everything was going on, thinking the people were saying, "Oh, they're trying to kill me." They don't know what concerned about you. And anything, she's more like entertainment because every time she opens her mouth, it's who knows what's gonna fly out. But I remember all the stuff. I remember a lot of stuff that went on that day. And I know a lot of people right now are trying to make it all about, oh, this, Trump, Trump led an insurrection, or oh, these GOP, these Trump supporters, or oh, these Republicans are so dangerous. Like, what really? Really? You had members of Congress cowering from an unarmed group of people being let into the Capitol building. That's really if that's what you consider dangerous, then if you're the type of person who think that January 6th was one of the worst, was one of the darkest days in American history, you're a lost cause. You're hopeless. You're not. If that's what you call a dark day, you would not be able to make, if let's say what's going on in Kazakhstan, let's say what's going on in Kazakhstan happened in the United States. You're gone. You're finished. You're a lost cause. You're dirt. I don't know if I can say I don't feel sorry for you, because with all the information that you have in your hand via cell phone, or just be able to talk to other people, do you think, if you're going to say that January 6th of 2021 was a dark day in American history, I don't know if you can be helped. It's one of those things where I remember, going back to Yuri Bezmenov, that you can shower these people with information, and it just won't work. He basically said the boot of the state crushing their balls is the only thing that can wake them up from their slumber. Thankfully, we haven't had to go through that yet. And I'm not making any predictions, but I'm saying thankful that we haven't seen anything like that. But I'm not holding my breath, because hey, this world is weird, But I think that there are many people who learn from January 6th, learn to look out for agitators, learn to look out for people who are trying to start trouble, who are trying to be divisive, and just figure, listen, if you want to say this is what, if this is something that happened, we can stick together, and if it got worse than that, we'll find a way to get through it. That's what we are. We're Americans. We find ways to get through tragic events. Not bitch and moan and cry on a keyboard about, oh, this is such a disaster, such an attack on democracy. So whatever, attack on democracy. We're a republic. We're a democratic republic. Thank God. And if you, again, you can't. I don't know what can help you. It may take the boot crushing. It may take the boot of the state crushing your balls to wake you up if you think January 6th was such an utter disaster. But please share your thoughts. Do you remember what you were doing? Were you laughing your ass off? Were you having a jolly good time watching what was going on the screen, or were you there? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. I love to read everybody's comments. I try to keep up with the stuff that people leave, any questions people ask me. If I don't get to you in a prompt time, I apologize. I have quite a bit of stuff going on, and I do have my bouts of laziness, I will admit. But please leave comments. If you want to help out with the channel, go to my YouTube homepage. Look for the Give Up That Cheese button. It'll take you to PayPal. All amounts are appreciated. Any gripes, complaints, send me a PM. I'll see what I can do to address them. But that's my video. Remember January 6th. I'm Edward Jones. You guys take care. Be safe. Stay strapped. And God bless.